When I first saw the trailer for Black the Fall, I was immediately drawn to it as it resembled a lot of my favorite games from this gen, Limbo, Inside. I immediately wanted to play it. Well, I have finished the game, and I'm ready to talk about what I thought about Black the Fall. What's going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. That's right, this is going to be my Rand's Indie Spotlight, my review for Black the Fall. So Black the Fall is developed by Sandstaler Studio, published by Square Enix Collective. It retails for $15. It is out now, right now, on Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So Black the Fall is a puzzle game in the vein of like Limbo, Little Nightmares, Inside. It's set up in a communist dystopian era. You play as Black, who's an obedient factory worker, and after decades of toil, he plots his escape from the obsessive grasp of this communist regime. But on your road to freedom is paved with puzzles, deceptions, pitfalls. How will you get past and finally attain the freedom that you seek? So the setup is really good, right? I kind of like the communist dystopian thing they're going for here. The game feels really oppressive. I like the use of the color palette they use, the black with the red and things like that. And these are the type of games that I quite enjoy. I enjoy these kind of linear puzzle games. And there's a lot to like about the game, but there's also some, bad things about the game as well. And we will talk about all that stuff right now. So it's set up in just like Limbo or any of these other games where you progress left to right and you get into a new room and you usually have to solve a puzzle to progress. Now, the puzzles vary as you go through the game. There's 4 acts, and they kind of get different as you go along, so you won't be solving the same type of puzzles, which is cool. Now, the puzzles aren't necessarily hard. Some of them, there are a couple that will scratch your head, but you'll get it right away. But my kind of favorite type of puzzle was, since we're dealing with this communist dystopian regime that kind of resembles the Russians, as you can see from some of the things on the walls, is the way you actually use people to get what you want and get through the levels, right? Now, this regime uses people to power buildings and things like that. So, and it's funny that then you would use those same people, your fellow workers, to escape. Because at one point, and this is kind of one of the main game mechanics, which I'll go over really quickly right now, you get a laser pointer, or as they call it in the game, a designator tool that will, when you click on the person that you want to control, and then you click on a box or whatever you want him to use, you basically manipulate him or tell him what to do. But it's kind of funny how this regime uses and spits people out, and then your way of escaping is to become the one who is using them. It's a pretty interesting kind of idea there. Now, one of the kind of pitfalls of the game, one of the things that doesn't work very well, is the controls in the game. So, A is jump. You will be jumping a lot because you do have platforming puzzles. X is to use when you want to interact with boxes and things like that. Left trigger is crouch, because there are situations where you need to stealth by somewhere. Although, if you are kind of crouched near a ledge, you'll jump down it, which I don't really like. Right trigger is to run. There'll be some instances where you need to run or run and jump. And then right bumper, or B, is to use the designator and things like that. I don't think the control system was thought out very well. It's very loose. I don't know. There's times I pressed the wrong button I didn't want to use. It just does. The controls just don't feel great, which it is kind of a detriment. But at least the game is fun to play for a first playthrough. So I like the look of the game. I like how you are using people to get out just as they were using you. I kind of find that cool, right? I like the the oppressive feeling that the game has. I like the color palette that they use. I like the sounds that they use, because there are really some cool, interesting sounds if you have headphones on and you're listening. Even some of the later levels, like the color kind of changes because you get outside and it looks different. You even befriend a robot dog who is kind of your ally through most of the second half of the game, and you can use him to solve a bunch of different puzzles. Now, one of the other things I like is this, unlike some of the other games I mentioned previously, is this one is kind of, it feels more lived in. And what I mean by that is, like, normally you go left to right, but there are instances where it switches to 3D and like pans around and does like a 360 or 180. It actually gives the sense that this is a real place and not just like, oh, we're just going left to right. There's a lot of instances of that, which made me appreciate and makes it stand out from some of the other games similar to it. So I thought that was really interesting. Now, the game is short. You can beat the game in 2.5 hours, maybe 3 if you get stuck on some puzzles. There are a couple here where I got stuck for maybe 20 minutes on the puzzle, not because the puzzle was hard, but because I was outthinking the puzzle. The solution was incredibly simple, but I was trying to do all these different things. So you're probably looking at 2.5 to 3 hours to go through your first playthrough, and it's $15. It's kind of one of those things like, how much do you value that? But achievement and trophy hunters, you will be happy to know that this is an incredibly easy 1,000 or incredibly easy platinum with the guide, which my buddy Maka91 just put up his 100% walkthrough. You can get the platinum or 1,000 gamer score in this game in about an hour and 15 minutes by following his guide. All the achievements are basically for seeing something unique in the environment from a new angle or finding a hidden space. There's no collectibles or anything like that. So if you're looking for achievements and trophies, a quick platinum, then pick this game up. It is right up your alley. As far as how it compares to other games of its ilk, I usually have a tier system when it comes to these things. And at the top tier are games like Limbo, Inside, and Little Nightmares, games that I think are the pinnacle of this type of game. And then you have a step below that tier, and we have a game like this game, Black the Fall, The Swapper, The Fall, Toby and the Secret Mind, and things like that. And there's even another tier beneath that reserved for games that are just kind of bad, like Monochroma and stuff like that. So there are enjoyable elements of this game, for sure. If you're a fan of the genre like I am, this is a game that I would recommend you go out and play, whether that's paying $15 up front for the 2 to 3 hour experience or waiting for a sale down the line. I think if you're a fan like I am, you will enjoy this game. There are enjoyable elements of the game. Some of the puzzles are well done. The dichotomy of them using you and then you using those workers to escape is interesting. The game looks good. I like the color palette. But then, of course, like I said in this review, you know, it's not as good as the greats in the genre. It has some issues. The jumping, I didn't really particularly care for. It's kind of too floaty. The controls, I didn't really like. I think there's too many of them, and they're not appropriately set on like what they should be on the controller. You might make some mistakes there. You know, it just doesn't sit along with some of the greats, but it is a good game. So you do have that to look forward to. So on a scale of 1 to 10, what would I give Black the Fall from Sand Sailor Studio? I would give it a 7.5. It's $15. It's a 2 to 3 hour experience. It does have its issues. It does have its, positives. But at the end of the day, I don't think it reached that level of an 8, especially not even a 9, or, dear God, not a 10. But it is a good game. It is a good game. I recommend it if you are a fan of the genre. It has some interesting puzzles that you may enjoy. You may enjoy. But just keep on, just know that it is a short game. Anyways, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this review of Black the Fall. If you did, I would appreciate it if you hit that like button. Consider subscribing for more content if you're new, or if you haven't already, hit the bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. You can follow me on social media and all that stuff, Twitter, Xbox Live, PSN. All the links to all that stuff will be in the description of the video. Share this out with all your friends and followers, and I will see everybody in the next video. Later.